What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are watching the Capitol Offense. Well, we watched the Capitol Offense. We're not about to watch the Capitol Offense. But we're here to talk to you guys about the Capitol Offense, Season 8 episode of Matlock. John, how are you today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited to talk about this episode and, just happy to be here, man. So how about you?
I'm living the dream, John. Whose, I'm not sure, but I am living it. And it's fascinating, like roller coaster ride of a dream.
Well, I'm joined by, of course, Lady, my feline friend. So if I'm looking down, sometimes I'm looking to see what she's doing because sometimes she's as all animals are. They get a little mischievous. You know what I mean?
Just want attention, John.
That's true. That's very true. So. But anyways, so before we jump on into this real quick, we want to let you know that our producer Justin is not here for this episode. So if things get a little bit hinky, things get a little bit weird, we're flying with just the two of us, not Justin. So he's actually, did I read the text correctly? He's helping somebody out with flooding.
Yes.
Okay. For those of you that probably are very much aware of this. We've had a lot of flooding in Ohio, and much like many other cities and states in the United States. But here in Ohio, we've had a lot of flooding, and it seems that we can't get a break from the rain. Last couple of days have been sunshiny, though still a little bit rainy. So I don't know. Jason, does it seem to you that the weather's getting weirder as we get older?
Yeah, or we just... I don't know, man. It doesn't bother me, the rain, but it's been a weird week because it's looked like nothing, and then suddenly it's raining.
Yeah, and like I said, for all those folks out there who were unfortunately a victim of the flooding and damage to their homes and property and whatnot, we hope that you all are doing well, and we hope that you get back up on your feet real soon. Because man, I could only imagine what it's like to lose like everything, if not nearly everything, of your capital possessions and whatnot.
For sure. But everybody, rest assured, I will be running the production today, so it's going to be amazing. Yes, thank you. Round of applause. You know, I had so much fun talking about my physical media haul I got from Liz last week. So I am going to jump into a recent haul I got on Blu-ray, John.
Okay.
Couple I've seen. The first two I've seen. Stop or my mom will shoot. Check out these. These are like VHS style, like slipcover things. Super cool, in my opinion.
Cool.
It's even got like rental stickers on there. I grabbed Problem Child, which I've seen also. Now the ones I haven't seen. Splitting Hairs. Have you seen this with Rick Moranis?
No, I have not seen it.
I am looking forward to checking this out. I picked up Casual Sex with Marty McFly's mom. I've heard it's funny. I have not seen it yet.
Okay, I got to be honest. I'm not sure that I've ever heard of that movie.
Yeah, I hadn't either, but I heard it was funny. And then I don't think you've seen this. Happy Birthday to Me, a horror movie, hopefully a slasher. I'm looking forward to digging into it. And then the last one I got is one I've never heard of with Robert Downey Jr. and James Woods.
I've never heard of True Believer either, but I do remember as a kid, Happy Birthday to Me was one of those VHS boxes on the shelf, and I was always kind of a little bit like weirded out by it, but also kind of interested as to what was going on with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But never brave enough for me to check it out. So those are the things that you're gonna watch, huh?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to watch this upcoming week, man. But, have you seen Lanterns yet?
I have not seen Lanterns yet. No, I have not.
You need to watch Lanterns. It's so good.
I've heard that it's very good. I will say this. A few episodes ago, I shared a comic, a graphic novel that I had read. And I believe our good producer, Justin, challenged me to read more. In fact, I think he even said that by the end of the calendar year, I need to have read 10 books. Well, I've done that. I've added another one to my count. This one is done by Garth Ennis and Steve Epting with colors by Jody Belair. It's called Partisan. It's a World War II a book, excuse me, not a movie, but a World War II tale about the partisans were like they were the Russian underground in World War II fighting against the Nazis, but also kind of fighting against Stalin. So it's an interesting tale. I will say the first issue is really dark at the end. It gets really like I put the book down for a few moments to collect my thoughts because it got really ugly. And I mean, the rest of the book is not cupcakes and teddy bears either. But that first issue was really rough, real rough introduction to the material. But I highly recommend it, especially if you like World War II movies, or if you like something like The Boys, which of course Garth Ennis created. And now I do have 2 movies that I've watched, Jason, recently.
I can't wait to hear about this.
All right, because it's going to be Hot Take Orlando. About a week ago, my wife and I decided to watch one of those movies that everybody should watch. And so we sat down to watch Easy Rider. That movie, I have no idea what went on in that movie. It was so wild. Like the main plot was introduced at the beginning of the movie, and then it's never resolved. And it's just really just a montage of just random shit that happens. That's about it. It was not. I don't understand why people think it's a great movie, but that's my take on Easy Rider. Do you have any thoughts on Easy Rider? I know it's the first big giant breakout for Jack Nicholson and Dennis Hopper and all them, but I don't think
I've never seen it, but I know it's like a very popular movie.
Yeah. So, and then the other one that we watched just last night was we wanted to check out a musical, so we decided to check out South Pacific. Oh my gosh, that movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but it seemed like 7 hours. It just drug on forever. And it's a musical too. So you would think that there would be lots of like, up tempo. No, it was wretched. So
do you like musicals?
I do. I'm becoming a fan of musicals. I do like them. I mean, Fiddler on the Roof, fantastic, wonderful. La La Land, pretty decent. Liked it. Let's see what else. Meet Me in St. Louis, fantastic as well. There's a couple of others that I've seen that I'm forgetting. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers was mediocre. It was just silly, the plot for that. But yeah, I'm trying to get into more musicals and open my my horizons a little bit more.
That's cool. I've never seen it, so I don't have any comments on South Pacific either. But so I saw that they were releasing Perfect Strangers on Blu-ray. So I made it my life's mission to get a review copy of it, and I did, and I've been watching it, and it is. I love this show, but I'm surprised, like, on how good they made the show look. Like, it's not, they didn't change it to widescreen or anything. It's still 4:3, but the colors pop. It looks really good for a show made in the 80s that wasn't meant for high def. Like, I was impressed. I'm impressed. Does it look like full HD and like it was made last week? It does not, but it does look way better than any other like version of it I've seen.
Okay, cool.
So far, Liz says, "Hey guys, about to take the small boy into a fiber festival, so I'll watch the rest later. Don't judge musicals by South Pacific. I hate that show. It's 3 hours and 2 hours and 45 minutes too long." There you go, John. Elizabeth agrees with your hot take.
Okay. All right. Yeah, like I said, it just seemed to go on and on and on forever, and the 2 storylines just drug. So I'm glad I feel justified in giving my opinion. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate it. Hope all is well with you and the fam. All right. Well, maybe we should encourage other people to chime in. Easy Rider, Perfect Strangers, any of those movies that Jason just came up with. I don't know where Ryan came from. That was bizarre. That was weird, man. Anyways, So jump into the chat. Let us know. Send your comments over. We'll do our best, even though we don't have Justin here to get them on air. And Jason, should we tell folks where they can get in touch with us if they have a question?
Yes, you guys can email us at bnmattalk@gmail.com.
All right, are you ready to get into it, man?
I am, but I don't see a gavel on here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here it is. Why? There we go.
Well, there you go. It's time for our opening statements. Oh, Justin, we miss you already. It's 11 minutes in and we miss you. Anyways, so the episode that we are reviewing for this episode is, of course, The Capital Offense. Original air date of November 11th, 1993. We have a couple of interesting guest stars for us. One is a gentleman by the name of Rob Roy Fitzgerald. Boy, that's a name if there ever was one. He plays the role of Adam Spangler. You may also know him as playing the role as a cop in Can't Hardly Wait, a cop in Thelma and Louise, Captain Rupert, who I believe is probably a cop on The Mentalist, Agent Watman, still police somehow, on Las Vegas, motorcycle cop on the Parkers. I think you've seen a trend here if you haven't picked up on what we're going with here. He was John Wilkes Sears on Police Academy, the series. And he played a role as a director on the show Arliss. And, of course, many, many other credits to his resume. So, Jason, anything that you want to mention about old Rob Roy?
I do not. You got it pretty covered.
All right. Let's move on to Art LaFleur, who will be playing the role
This man has been in everything.
Oh,
everything ever made. This guy is in it, especially 90s television.
Yep, exactly. Art LaFleur will be playing the role of Detective Buchard. You may know him as the Babe in The Sandlot, Mr. Penny in The Blob, Chick Gandil in Field of Dreams, Captain Sears in Cobra, Mayor Daley in The Playboy Club, Dr. Hess in Dahmer versus Gacy, Russell Hollander in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective Jr., Fiji announcer in Speed Racer, the Tooth Fairy in this Santa Claus 3, Warner Fitch in House, and literally a million other, not literally, but tons and tons of other works, both on the big screen and on the small screen as well.
Did you mention the Tooth Fairy? He played the Tooth Fairy in
Santa Claus? Mention that he played the Tooth Fairy in Santa Claus 3.
Okay, just making sure. That's all I got.
Okay, which Santa Claus do you like the best, or do you not like any of them?
The first one.
Yeah, I'm with the first one. The sequels were.
I like them all, but I like the first one the best.
Okay,
by a lot. I was surprised how much I liked the third one. It took me a while to watch the third one. I think I enjoyed the third one more than the second one.
Yeah, I can concur with you on that. I agree with you on that. All right, and our last individual guest star, Mark Jeffrey Miller. He plays the role of Patty McCord. You may also know him as the firebomber in Mississippi Burning, D4 officiant in The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2, Stable Master Andy on Vice Principals, Bud on Better Call Saul, Jesse Adams on Sleepy Hollow, Detective Ned Peppers on Constantine, and quite a few other credits to his resume. I'll tell you, out of all those that I mentioned, Mississippi Burning, I really want to see that, because there's been a couple of like memes that have flown out there with Gene Hackman and Michael Rooker, their scene, and it looks like a really good and interesting movie. I definitely want to put it on my list of movies to watch.
Yeah, no, I saw it when I was young. I think I was in a video store and they were playing it. But John, you forgot one other guest star.
Who's that?
Amzie Strickland. She played shoot, I don't even have her credit on Matlock. She was the witness in this episode of Matlock. She was also in an episode of Happy Days and one of my favorite comedies, Doc Hollywood. I love Doc Hollywood. Cars completely ripped that movie off and used like pretty much the same plot. Fence gets destroyed. Stuck in a small town. Yeah, she had a nice career. She was in a lot of stuff. St. Elsewhere, Empty Nest, obviously Matlock, Full House, Sister, Mad About You, Roseanne, Ellen. She was in a bunch of stuff in the 90s. Holy crap. And then Inherit the Wind was probably something that she's probably most known for.
I believe her name was Mrs. Ponder, I think. I'll have to look at my notes. I'm sure it's there. But all right, well, the plot of this episode is that 2 weeks before a con man is set to be executed, Ben and Leanne are tasked with finding evidence to exonerate him. And so, we forgot to talk about what we love to do right before we talk about the plot, and that is we love to testify.
Testify! Oh, where's that? Nope, not that. There we go.
Justin, we miss you so much. If I know I've said it already at the 11-minute mark, but he's the glue that keeps the show together.
Say it
What
again,
can I say?
John.
What? Well, as I've already mentioned the plot to you, we're going to skip right into our opening scene, which is the exterior of a courtroom. A jury files on into the jury box. They render a verdict, and that Adam Spangler is sentenced to death for the murder of some random woman. So Adam gets mad at his lawyer because the lawyer only had one witness, and that's it. They had one witness, and that's what they convicted on. So Adam continues to claim innocence. There's a woman who is very distraught over his sentence. Ben, then we cut to a scene where Ben is trying to use or set up a PC, which I thought was slightly entertaining, but kind of useless. And I'll explain more in a minute. So there's a knock at the door, and it's Detective Buchard. He stops by to say hello to Ben, and he's like, look, I know I was involved in this case with Adam Spangler. I'm not sure he did it, Ben. I'm not sure he did it. The evidence is really weak. The murder weapon was never found. There's no prints of Adam Spangler in the house. Just, there's an eyewitness that saw somebody go in and out of the house, but that's it. So
this guy would want capital punishment on television.
What?
The cop. He's all for capital punishment. Like, he's all for the death penalty, but he just doesn't think this guy deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That's a weird thing because he's very much against, you're right, the death penalty. But what's the alternative? Does he want Adam Spangler to have life in prison, 25 years? Like, there's no other option.
No, he's pro the death penalty. So he's trying to get him off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay. So basically the Detective Bouchard's like, hey, Ben, could you just take a look at the case real quick? Because there's just something not there. And so Ben begrudgingly decides to do it. So we go to a shot of the prison where Ben reviews the case with Adam. And he's like, look, the reason why you didn't get a non-guilty verdict is because you're turning on your swarmy charm. You have traits that a successful con man has, and the jury sees right through that. All right.
Yeah. You're a liar. Liar, pants on fire.
Exactly. So in the review of the case, Adam robs that house where the lady was killed. He admits that he saw her at the pawn shop pawning off some stuff. He followed her a couple streets back to her home. All right. He cased the joint. He went and got tools to help with a breaking and entering. He waited for the lady to leave. He broke in. He stole pretty much, I think in one count, and this is where I get a little bit confused because there were so many versions of Adam's tale that's hard to keep him straight. But anyways, Adam robbed the old lady and was seen actually going in the house and coming out of the house, right, by the eyewitness. All right. And then we enter in a character named Oliver, who is a fence/pawn shop owner. I think pawn shop owners in the 90s were always a fence. Like, they just might as well just call them fences, right?
I wouldn't say always, but yes, at least in movies and television.
I was gonna say I'm in the real life. No, I mean, I'm not saying that, but in TV land and movies, it seemed like the fence was always they were always a fence. So sorry about that. Got distracted here. As I said, Lady my cat is somewhat being a little bit mischievous. So Ben questions Oliver, and Oliver's real hesitant to help because he's like, look, man, if people find out I'm a fence, then that's going to ruin my legitimate business, and I can't have that. So then we cut to a scene that says on the screen 3 years ago, and we're at a courtroom, and Oliver's on the stand, and he gives an alibi for both he and Adam that he was buying jewelry from Adam. Okay, I was very confused by this because I didn't understand where the 3 years, why they were putting that on the screen. You probably, I don't know, maybe you felt the same way I did, but I was confused for a few moments.
I was too. I had to rewind it a couple times, but we essentially started 7 years ago, and now we're 3 years ago, and so on and so forth.
Right, which I figured that out, but at first I'm like, wait, what? So Donald Beach is called to the stand. He is an expert on jewelry. There was this brooch that Oliver kept out of all the stuff that Adam dropped off at his shop because he thought that the brooch was like really, really rare and super expensive. So the brooch, by the way, as this Donald character evaluated it, isn't really that old. All right, it's the late 60s by the long shot.
Mm-hmm.
So from there we go to 3 years ago again, where Ben is yelling at Adam about how could you screw this up? You got fake evidence, so to speak. It's manufactured evidence, and you're screwing yourself all up again. And again, Adam declares his innocence. And so this time, Adam recounts his alibi, except that the reason why he didn't leave with a lot of stuff was because there was a safe, and he couldn't get the safe open. So, and Adam claims that after he realized that he couldn't rob or steal anything from the house, he went and had a few drinks, and he sold his tools. And he claims maybe somebody saw him selling his tools and followed him to the house. Okay, what are you thinking so far as we're into this, about a quarter of a way in on this episode? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I found it to be very jumbled at this point.
It's fine so far. I like the different style.
You mean with the 3 years, 7 years, that type of style?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just like, here's my other thing here real quick. Selling tools. What are your home break-in tools? Because I'm ignorant of that. Like, what do you need that can't be explained as I have these screwdrivers and this hammer because I'm doing renovation to my house? Like,
lockpick, crowbar.
Okay. Where does one get a lockpick, by the way? You can't go to Lowe's and get one.
I have no idea. Amazon.
Ooh, maybe Amazon. Okay, possibly. I think I read somewhere where Amazon has brass knuckles, which I'm like, I think that's a lethal weapon. I don't think you can sell those. I could have swore somewhere recently I had a conversation with somebody and they talked about that. Oh, you're looking it up.
Tasers off Amazon.
Oh, you can get tasers?
Yeah.
Well, then you can get brass knucks. You're looking it up.
Oh yeah, you
aren't
can buy a lockpick set. You can pretty much buy a lockpick set anywhere.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyways, enough of our felonies and how to tell you how to go about committing them. Please don't rob anybody. Okay, listeners.
Yeah, you can get a taser for $9.99.
Again, we don't want to be held responsible for any choices that people might make out there. So again, please don't buy a taser. Don't buy brass knuckles.
I mean,
Don't.
protect yourself. I'm going to get my daughter one. You can even get matching pepper spray. That's my next Amazon order. Actually, I'm adding them both to my cart right now for my daughter. She just moved to campus.
Okay. Well, okay. You know what? Brass knucks probably not a bad idea. Anyways, notice we didn't say what campus. It could be a variety of campuses. So,
Absolutely.
anyways, Buchard and Ben, they compare notes about the case, and then Buchard and Ben, they visit an elderly neighbor who I believe is Ponder. I don't have the name, but I think her name was Ponder. She retells her point of view of the event, that she went to the window and opened it because it was warm in the house. She did a couple of other things, came back, lowered or shut the window. She did see a man go in and out of the house. She did see a man holding some jewelry after seeing the shooting. And then I put down here, Ben and Buchard off to dine. And now, for one of our favorite recurring characters, it's late night, middle of the night, as a matter of fact. And it's time to wake up sleepy Ben. And who does it? Buchard. It's at the front door.
Yes, he is, and Ben is very angry.
Yes, he is very angry. There's another.
He's not even trying to fix his hair. He's messing it up more as he's walking down the stairs.
Yes, you're right.
He has to fix it. I thought it was funny because he's just like.
Yeah, he looked kind of like Albert Einstein with that hair, you know? Well, another burglary has happened, just like the one that involved Adam, only this time there are prints. So basically, the second person, they go back to the prison. Let me recap that. I kind of botched that a little bit. So they, being Ben and Leanne, they go visit Adam in prison 2 years ago. And Adam comes up with this idea. Maybe somebody was waiting for me as I left the old lady's house. Maybe they were waiting for me to rob me. But the problem with that is Adam doesn't have anything to steal because remember, everything was locked up in the vault, in the safe. So the only people that know about this heist is Oliver, the girlfriend Beth, and a guy named Hawk. And Hawk was the hookup for the tools to breaking and entering into the house. We have a scene where Leanne interviews Beth, and she introduces a guy named Patty McCord to Leanne. And he's the guy that organized the meeting between Adam and Hawk. So Patty and Leanne chat about Hawk. Patty refuses to really give a bunch of information away because snitches get stitches. We go back to Ben's house, and Leanne finds the keyboard of the PC. Okay, I'm going to stop here for right now because I feel like, and I'm going to reveal a little bit about my rating. I feel like the computer should have had a bigger presence in the episode. Like this computer thing, learning to use a computer could be a piece of multiple episodes from here on out. You know what I mean? Like it could have been a recurring gag that he couldn't figure out how to use the computer. Here it's introduced. They use it like twice and that's it. What do you think?
I mean, it could have been a fun comedy bit, but I think this episode they were leaning more towards the away from the comedy because of the subject matter, trying to get somebody off death row. So it didn't really bother me. It would have been funny to have it in there more, but it didn't really bother me.
So Patty is at Ben's home, And basically, Patty says Hawk is a thief and he's missing 3 fingers. All right, because he got him blown off with fireworks. So Beth begs Patty to introduce Ben and Leanne to Hawk. And so they lament. And there's an undercover sting at the city park. Ben follows Hawk, and I'll use air quotes because it ends up being the wrong guy, right? So then we go to 1 year ago on the screen. The elderly neighbor has no new info except for the fact that she did notice some cigar smoke. Which, by the way, that was Leanne was smoking the cigar down in the bottom of the yard to help with this particular little theory.
I miss a good cigar.
I tried them. I'm not a fan. I just didn't.
Yeah, I miss them. I can't do it anymore because if I do, I'll just start smoking cigarettes again, and then it'll be a whole like tunnel. So I avoid. But
well, more power to you, man. How long have you not smoked? It's been a minute.
Almost 10 years.
Almost
maybe
10 years.
A little bit longer.
Okay, good deal, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ben gives his theory of the crime. Oh, I already talked about that with Leanne helping out with the cigar. And now we go to present time. All right. Ben is giving his speech to get a new writ in regards to kind of stopping the execution of Adam Spangler. But the judge shoots down Ben. Ben and Leanne are trying to get a stay of execution. I keep saying education. That's not correct. Execution. Buchard caught the second burglar. And so Ben is off to jail and he meets with Adam, right? And Adam is pining over Beth. Ben consoles him. Leanne gets the call and rushes off, right? And so they're setting up Adam for the electric chair. And a call comes through that Hawk is in a locale that the cops know, and they're trying to arrest him. There is a firefight! And Hawk gets hit by a truck and is dead. But he leaves some important evidence behind. It is the same gun used in the other robberies and the murder, and he has 3 fingers that are missing. So I wrote down, is this good enough evidence? Is it?
I mean, it's enough probably to pause it.
Pause it, sure, but not escape, which we get the execution phone call. And then my last statement is, did Adam get off? Because you're right. We don't know. Is that enough to get him free and clear? Or is it just he's going to spend some more time in jail, but he's off the death row?
Well, he's definitely out of being executed. No, I would say that they gave us enough that we can make the logical assumption that it did end up working out for the best.
Okay. Well, with that being said, are you ready, Jason, to wrap things up with our closing statements?
John can't wait to get out of here. So, yes, John, let's do this.
All right, it's time for our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I will come back in 2 weeks and do this episode as if we were 7 years ago, and then jump 3 years and 1 year as we progress through said episode. 5 gavels means we loved it, and 0 gavels means we did not. John, I'm going to go first because I feel like you're just going to be a negative Nelly. I am going to give it a 4. I like the episode quite a bit. The thing that really stood out to me is they kind of showed the realism to trying to get somebody off death row by making it a 7-year journey, because it's not easy. Like, it's not something that can happen in a week or 43 minutes. And I like that they kept doing the time jumps because it showed the progress they had to make to get to where he could finally get away with it. And I kind of dug that element of it, and that kind of helped with my rating of the show. And then Liz said she did like the episode of Matlock. The timeline didn't exactly work with the rest of the show, but I thought the structure was interesting, meaning like the season 7 years ago within the show's time frame, it may not have fit quite right because Leanne was there for some of it that she wouldn't have been there for. But that's me adding to that. All right, John. 1, 2, where are you at?
I'm giving this a 2. Yeah, look, I agree with what Liz said, is that there's some pacing issues, some structure issues that you may have liked. I did not much care for it. I felt that the pacing was slow. I would have liked some more of the PC storyline. I felt the ending was kind of a little bit lame. The timeline, while unique to tell the story, I wasn't a big fan of it. The only positive I found, I thought that went on, was the acting was pretty good. I agree with you that this is probably a more realistic way, so I think the acting matched up to that. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this episode. Sorry.
It's all right. Our
You know,
podcast average is 3. That's still a passing grade,
there you
60%.
go. There you go. All right,
Well,
Jason.
John,
What?
how can folks get in touch with us?
How can folks get in touch with us? That's your deal, man. They can email us at BEN
MATTALK at gmail.com. Or you
Look,
guys
I
can go to
handle the Facebook, right? At facebook.com or at you can also follow us on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast. Justin, we missed you. And now I'm getting the gong. I don't know. We missed you, man. So hopefully everything's good to go. Jason, hush now. All right. So what's going on with the Three Geeks podcast, by the way?
We just stuff, releases, episodes. Last night was a fun Three Geeks. Guys, go back, check it out. We did our top 5 favorite Disney movies while reacting to trailers from D23. Me and Destiny reviewed Outer Banks. Max and I talked Lanterns, and Max and Justin talked Game of Thrones. So guys, go back, check it out. It was a lot of fun. It's fun when it's the 4 of us with Destiny there. I like having her. She gives Max a run for his money with just the 2 of them going back and forth. I find fun.
Okay. Well, for me, the PVD Cast is my own personal podcasting project, available over at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. You know what? Funny, we watched South Pacific on Tubi last night. So there you go. Right now, I got up a great episode talking about wrestling promos. That's the current episode that's up on pvdcast.com. Myself and Gerald Glassford talk about what makes a great promo, who has the great promos, et cetera, and why they're important to the wrestling world. So with that, check it out, please.
And everybody, jump over to the Three Geeks YouTube channel. There will be a 6-hour Mattalk marathon starting immediately after the end of this. So jump on over there, and you guys can get on with more me and John shenanigans.
There you go. Well, let's not hold those folks hostage anymore. Let's let them get to that marathon. So, as they say in court,
nothing further.